7, 6, 11, 5.
28 years later, taking inspiration from The Last of Us game and giving us what The Last of Us show should have given us, with the writing craftsmanship of Alex Garland and the abstractive film style of Danny Boyle. Shit. 28 years later is exactly as the title suggests, 28 years since the outbreak of the Rage virus, a virus that essentially turns the infected into what is like zombies. So it's a post-apocalyptic horror film, but honestly it's so much more than that. As part of the coming of age ritual, a father played by Aaron Taylor Johnson takes his son Spike, played by Alfie Williams, out of their island community into the mainland to hunt the infected to get his first infected kill. While on the mainland, the father is also teaching Spike about life outside of the community and essentially how to survive in the infected world. It's very similar to The Last of Us with the lessons and the structure and the overall feel, but that structure is only about 35% of the film, and then from there it goes into a more dramatized structure, which I was personally a fan of. Cinematography wise, 28 years later was filmed very abstractively in the way that I expected it to be from Danny Boyle, and it was written in a way that I was expecting from Alex Garland. The visual effects and sound editing were also very beautifully done. I love the symbiotic relationship between the ravens and the infected, almost like the relationship between ravens and wolves, where the wolves will go for the kill, have their share, and then leave the rest for the ravens, which actually makes a lot of sense because in this film there are alphas, which are the leader of the infected pack, very much like the alpha of a wolf pack. The second structure, or second arc if you will, focuses on Spike taking his mother into the mainland to see this guy they don't know, for a reason that makes sense for a 12-year-old to take his mother into harm's way. I know some people are not a fan of the structure of the second arc, but honestly, when you take a look at Alex Garland's work, it makes a lot of sense. When you look at his other works like Warfare or Civil War, or even Annihilation, those films carry elements of their respective genres, yes, but also that emotional charm, and I would have been surprised had 28 years later not incorporated the human nature element of compassion in the midst of chaos. We see in this film how Spike's relationship with each parent is vastly different in how they show this child love. The very instinctive nature for the father to be harsh and critical, and the mother being nurturing yet firm, as well as being able to throw down to protect her child. Each of Spike's journey into the mainland teaches him a different lesson about life. With his dad, he learned about instincts and feeding into those instincts to survive. And with his mom, it was about compassion, embracing life and death as one flowing journey like a river's current, not simply stop and go. But I have to say that I was not expecting Alfie Williams to be the lead as well as carry so well in this film. Aaron Taylor Johnson and Jodie Comer being the parents also fit very well, and they played their roles beautifully. Overall, I thought 28 years later was well done, but again, that's because I appreciated the two different arcs, because I expected that from Danny Boyle as well as Alex Garland. And I think if you expect this film to have a high infected presence and a lot of chaos, you're going to be fairly disappointed. The infected scenes were great, but there just wasn't a lot of it. It was more so about the storytelling. But to be fair, we are going to be getting a continued story next year that is called 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. So maybe we'll get more of the same, or maybe it's going to shift in either direction. So we can only wait. But I'm curious, have you seen it? And if you have, what did you think of it? Let's get the conversations rolling. And yeah, that's about it.